What is up, everyone? This is BigPowner. It is like the end of my day. I did finish the Delve project today. I'm very happy to be done with that. I'm ready to move on to the next thing. Um, I have a really big plan for a really cool video, um, and I'll talk about that. But first, we're gonna get into the facts of this. I did already record this and my sound cut off, which sucked. And then I wound up doing a crafting video, which is loading up for you guys right now. Um, a long one, so unless you like watching a long video and you want to see a full craft video with some suspense and stuff like that in it, a lot of bit different crafting methods might not be for you if you're one of the people that like really short videos. Um, but it was a lot of fun. Um, so and it's more realistic. I've been getting really lucky crafting. Um, I hit depth 400, which is where we end the video. Let's first look at everything that I collected. Everything that I collected, let me move. I had this in a different place because I was doing a crafting video. So we'll put that back. Okay, so have everything in here. As usual, I have pre-added all this because, I'm not going to waste your time me sitting here adding everything up. So the total value was 953 chaos. This was the most elves that I have done in one of these videos. The reason for this was obviously because if you were to be going for this depth, because this currency sounds good for you. When you reach this point, you'd obviously be doing more delves at this depth than getting to here because you want to get to where the best currency is, or where it looks good to you. So I have the most delves here. I had predicted that it was going to be better than last time. I was right about that, but I was off on my prediction. I said I was being a little bit generous at 7, and I was wrong. The actual average per delve, because we had 141 delves, was 6.758 chaos per delve. This set of data took me like a lot longer as far as time invested, and there were several reasons. The first reason is because I did more delves. The second reason is I ran into some issues with groups, which this is going to be a fact. If you're doing this as your farming method, groups are not always going to run perfectly. I had a night trying to restock, and the server was having issues. People were getting DC'd. I had 2 groups completely fall apart, which was a huge amount of wasted time. Then finally got a group. We stuck together and we toughed it out, but it took like an hour for us to do one double Nico. And this is something you have to consider. I'm obviously not doing this by my time invested, because everyone's time invested to earn this currency is going to be different. So that's something that you kind of have to think, how much time is this actually going to take me? How much time is my stocking realistically taking me? You should record this for yourself. You want to know actually how much you're making per hour. We got to be smart as players. We want to find good advice, but even if you're getting good advice from someone like me that's being honest with you, your gains are going to be slightly different, because how much time it takes you. What do we want? For interesting currency, we want the most currency per hour. Simple fact. As I'd said in previous videos, and my conclusion with these is delving is by far the worst farming method in the game. I mean, there is other stupid stuff out there, like, people telling you to farm white maps for super rare card drops that are like, 1 in 500 or 1 in 2,000, and it's like, but you get 8 exalts. Yeah, 500 maps. That's retarded. There are like really stupid stuff out there, but in general, as a farming method, Delve is just terrible. If you like Delve, that's completely fine. I have friends that have been playing this game for a really long time. They're really knowledgeable. They just like Delve. And what do we do in our gaming time? We play for fun. So if you like Delve, you don't have to be like, well, the currency is bad. Even though I like it, I'm not gonna do it because the facts are there's stuff that's better. No, if you like it, do it. But if you're just farming to get currency because you have a goal to get something, then this ain't the best way to go. Um, just simple fact. So I told you the per delve for this section was 6.758 for the total, because we're running a total, because realistically, if you're looking at delve, you have to put in a lot of legwork to get to this point. Obviously, it doesn't really get that much better as we get deeper. The incremental increase is really, really small in our average earnings. So, and I've been talking to a lot of people because I wanted to make sure that my data was not like some crazy, unlucky or lucky set of data. I wanted to make sure that the general experience that people are feeling, and yes, I talked to my friends, and my friends, you know, are telling me that even at deeper depths, this is pretty much what to expect. But I wanted to get a larger sample, so I confirmed with my data by talking to a lot of people that I was grouping with, people that were, nice enough to actually give me responses. I understand that that takes time to do that. I understand that too well because, I take my time to do videos and other things, which cuts into my actual gaming time. And not everyone wants to do that, and that's completely fine. But it's definitely something I appreciate when someone does because, they don't have to take their time to help someone out. So I appreciate when people give their input. Same thing with the comments. Um, I ain't perfect. I don't do everything right. I try to be honest. I try to give you guys the most realistic stuff, um, so that you won't be disappointed when you do something. And I try to give you all the knowledge I got, but just because I'm being honest doesn't mean I know everything. I will be wrong about stuff sometimes. When people correct me, I appreciate that because I don't want to be pretending I'm right about everything and misleading people. So don't be a dick about it. If I am wrong about something, I ain't gonna appreciate that. But let me know. I will appreciate that. Um, so we've got our total from this one plus the total from before. So 953 from this one plus the 1687 from the three previous gives us a total earnings of 2,640 chaos. That's assuming we sell everything. Um, and that's also assuming we had no cost because we have not factored cost in. And I'm going to talk about this because this is going to be the last video. The total earnings at current market value would be 19.27 exalted orbs, and this is taking me about a week. Um, one day I played for a short amount of time, so it's not the same amount of time that I normally play, so I couldn't compare that and be like, I lost, my maximum amount of earned amount. I ain't like that, so I would say like 6 full gaming sessions and a half, close to a week though of game time, realistically, because this project today was pretty much all of my game time. Besides the crafting video, which that took, I think, like an hour and a half. Um, anyways, what does that mean? Our average from beginning to end it was 5.7641 chaos per delve before costs. So this really isn't good. The thing is there's a lot of factors that we have to pull in. For this particular one, I have 48 regular sulfite stockings, and then I have a +5 there because I spent extra maps, and I told you about the failures. I don't know how you guys want to count those, but that's a realistic part of this type of farming method. If you have parties fall apart, that's a bunch of lost time. Like I said, I was having trouble getting parties together, and the reason I was probably having trouble getting parties together is probably because not very many people were looking for parties because they probably got into one party and it was shitty and they kept on getting disconnected like I was getting disconnected. My teammates were getting disconnected and they were probably like, screw this, I ain't doing this tonight, I'll try again tomorrow. But I kept trying and I regretted it. I did run into one of the guys from the channel, and we had some fun chatting after we struggled through an hour-long double Nico, and then we topped off running some single maps. So you guys can count those failures and that long Nico however you want. But putting it out there, I used 4 maps, I believe. I think he used one, and then he was full. At this point, a double Nico doesn't fill me. I'm like 55,000 soul fight. Um, I'm like getting close to like what, four times Nico, five. I don't know. I got a lot of space. um, that I ain't gonna use. Cause this ain't very good. Um, Even just if we don't consider our cost, this really isn't very good currency. And going back to talking to other players, there were even some players that thought I was getting really lucky because they were at deeper depths and they were making less average currency. My guess, based on what other people have told me, is maybe they were on the unlucky side. It's possible, though, that I might be a little bit lucky in this data. So it's possible that there is some small variation in your earnings. You could get a little bit lucky or you could get a little bit less lucky. But it'll be somewhere in this range because pretty much everyone I talked to was somewhere around this or thought it was reasonable. But I do also want to say, even people that are really deep, because I talked to a couple guys that were in the thousands for delves, and their information was they were lucky to get 5 exalts in a gaming session. That was really lucky for them. And all of the guys I talked that are really deep said the currency sucks. And they had a lot of complaints about the currency. They just like delving. The most common thing I heard was delving sucks this season because fossils are cheap. The other thing was that resonators are more expensive, but it's such a small incremental increase, it doesn't make up for all of the fossils being cheap. Because, like, those are the, big drops for delve. And, like, I got, the fourth best fossil, and it's 40 something chaos. Which, whoop-de-doo! And I got one in a total of 458 delves. So that was not common. And even when it did drop, it's 44 chaos. And the most expensive one is 1.2 exalts. So there's just better drops in other places. Maps alone, even not running high quantity, you're going to get better drops. And you don't have stock time that you're making basically zero currency. And that's what, I'm saying is, we have all this stocking time. Like over 140 stocks. So like over the average, you're talking about for every 3 delves, 1 Nico mission is basically what the average for this is. Not counting those issues. It's about one soul fight mission for every 3 delves. And you don't make, in general, unless you're that dude that's running back for small currency drops, because you don't want to be that dude. There are people that will kick you, or they're just going to grab the soul fight ahead of you because they don't want to wait for you anymore. And then you're getting less soul fight, which means you're going to have to do even more stalking, which is, in either case, you're either being a dick or you're screwing yourself over. So yeah, this is the reality of it. I expected this. Early, I was a little bit surprised by the currency. Once again, I may have been lucky in early delve, and a couple people saying that they thought I was lucky from beginning to end. That may be supported by that. My early delving may have been a little bit lucky. I may have been a little bit on the lucky side in general, but it sounds about average, and honestly, really bad currency for me. And I'm not a noob at delving. I can delve really fast. That's the other thing you have to consider. The original reason that I'm not doing this by time, being like, this day I spent 6 hours, and this day I spent 8 hours. And adding up this time and dividing the chaos per hour is because realistically, there's so many factors as to why I can go so fast. I've got 140% movement speed. What do you have? I have, I've got about four mirrors in gear on my character. Um, I have really strong gear. I've played Delve season after season. I've done thousands of delves. I've done thousands of delves in one season. So I'm not a noob at it. I have knowledge as to what's more valuable. I memorize what fossils are more valuable, so I'm not going for for fossil nodes that are like this one. It's gonna drop me. It's gonna drop me a one chaos fossil, half a chaos fossil, scorch fossil. You think I'm gonna go down there and get that? Hell no. So I mean, being able to recognize stuff like that, also, quickly being able to look through and be like, over here we've got 13% quantity, but if I stop here at the 13% quantity and head this way, what do I have? I've got higher quantity. Doing stuff like that can increase your earnings a little bit. That's how I went through this delve, was only heading towards things that, where the quantity was better, going for the most profitable nodes, like things like that you can do to try and make it more profitable, which maybe that's why some people are like, man, you're lucky. And that's just because I was applying the knowledge that I have to try to get the most currency that I could while I was doing it. Like, I didn't want to wind up coming out of this disappointed in the currency. I would have loved to have, 6 mirrors, a mirror every day, the claims, or, the 30 exalts minimum. I should have a mirror either way based on the claims that are out there. And what do I have? I've got 19.27 exalted orbs. If I sold everything that I found that was even slightly valuable at full market price and had no cost. And that's the other thing I want to talk about is the cost of maps. Realistically, maps are going to cost you because I started with a lot of maps. And the thing is what do we have? These are all maps that I got from this. And if you are delving, I had one more map, but it was white corrupted, so 0% quantity. I threw that shit away. But even this one, unidentified corrupted, that is garbage. Why? Because the only way that I can use it is because I can't take elemental reflect unless I just want to jump in and test it and shoot stuff and see if I die, which I mean I could do that. When I don't have any XP, then I don't really have much to lose. I'm going to throw the map away anyways. The thing is this map has no value. I can't use it for stalking soul fight. I would be a dick if I threw this into my Nico mission in a group, and then it randomly kills the people, and I'm like, sucks to be you, dude. I didn't want to waste this map. But it would also be stupid for you to do that because the amount of sulfite you're getting out of your Nikos is dependent on quantity. This has no quality. We don't even know what the quantity is. It could be really terrible. This could be a 50% quantity map. The point is this is garbage. This is a tier 14. No one's going to want to stock on that. This one's already corrupted at 78. It's garbage. This one's a tier 14. So I only got 3 maps to roll here. How many maps did I use in this set of data? I used 13. On average, you can say if I chisel vol alk, 2 maps, one of them should wind up being able to be gotten over 100% quantity. What do I mean by that? I can at least add 4 frags to it, and it's going to be, like 80% plus. At 80%, I can add 4 frags to it. It'll be over 100%, or at 100%. Which most people ain't even going to invite you to a group if you say that, because you're like barely squeaking by, and most people are trying to get the maximum amount of quantity so they can get the maximum amount of soul fight out of their time. And you should want to get the maximum amount of sulfite. So 1 out of every 2, you're going to be able to do that. And if you have to frag it, that's an extra like 5 or 6 chaos to your cost. And the thing is like I had a ton of fragments, and I used up a ton of fragments because I fragged every single one. Like most of my maps were like 170 to 200% quantity. um, because I wanted to stock as efficiently as possible. So if you're doing bad quantity maps and bad quantity groups, you're going to take a lot more stocking. Um, but there's a cost associated to that. So if every two maps, one of them is a dud, and then no one's going to want to buy it, and then it's going to be more than 1 out of 2 because sometimes you're going to wind up voling it, and it's going to wind up with elemental or physical reflect, and then you can't use it for stocking even if it has a high quantity. Um, the only way around that is you can have a sextant set up that removes reflect, and you could tell the person that, but you link a map with reflect, and they're probably going to be like, no thanks. I don't want to jump in that shit. I don't trust you to put on a sextant. Um, so kind of your choice. But realistically, that's a lot of extra cost. We're talking 26 maps. I only have 3 that are usable here, which would mean I'd need 23 more maps just to have done this stocking, assuming half of them are good, um, which, you know, people are saying at least 5 chaos per map, 23 maps. It's 115 chaos, plus you have to add the cost of chiseling, voling, alking, um, call it an extra 2 chaos. Um, you're at 138 chaos added cost just for this section of data. You add this up, we're losing over 10% of our profit just on that, which drops it now down to like 5 chaos per delve, which drops the earnings down to like 17 exalted orbs. Yeah, so I mean, when you actually factor everything, and then when you look at it from like time invested, it's going to look really, really bad when you factor in your sulfite stocking and your time delving. Like the currency is really, really bad. Um, so, shit or the shit? I'm saying it is shit. This is a terrible way to farm currency. The only reason to do this is if you like it or you want to do your challenge. Personally, I probably won't even do the next 200 delves to do my challenge. Why is that? Because I only do the challenges every season till I get my top effect, which means at 36 I can choose 4 not to do. And I always just go for the easiest 36. So even if you're going for that portal, you can skip this delve 600, because what is it? I think it's for this one. Reach delves. Or maybe this isn't it. Oh yeah, reach depth 600. So you'd have to complete 4 of these. So, I mean, I don't know. That's not the easiest one. That's definitely one of the hardest ones. I always just play the season until I get close to being finished, and then I finish those up to get my 36 one. Some people like to go for 40, but I honestly don't care that much about the very top piece of my totem. Couple seasons I've been like, I'm gonna get that top piece, and then I'm like, I don't really feel like doing this. It's not fun. Um, uh, but I mean, everyone enjoys different things. That's just me. I just want the cool rewards. I don't even really care that much about the portal. I just want it because it's like an achievement thing that I can have. um, Anyways, I hope that this data is helpful and gives you a realistic expectation. So even if you do like Delve, you're not going into it 100% guaranteed to be disappointed. Because if I told you that I made 60 exalts every single day, and you believe me and you go do it, there's a 100% chance that you are going to be disappointed. Why is that? Because even if a Mirror of Kalandra dropped for you, which I have never gotten a Mirror of Kalandra, most of my friends have never gotten Mirrors of Kalandra, most people that have played since the game came out have never gotten a Mirror of Kalandra. That's how rare they are. Even if one of those dropped, in these 6 days, my average would not be 60 exalted orbs a day. It would be 220 exalted orbs, because that's 200 is the price of the Mirror of Kalandra, and then plus after cost, 17 exalted orbs, so I'd have 217 exalted orbs divided by 6, not counting the last day. We'd have what, like half of that? A little bit over half that? Like 30 something exalted orbs a day? Like, that's how unrealistic, that's how far off those claims are. Like, it's just crazy how far off they are. And if you believed someone telling you that, no matter what you get, you're going to be disappointed. And I know 2 people that have gotten Mirrors of Kalandra this season, and I think that that's probably the most people I've known in a season to get a Mirror Kalandra, and one of them was from the YouTube channel. Um, I only had one friend got a Mirror Kalandra this season, and I don't I don't think I know I've had seasons where I didn't know anyone that got one. I, I don't remember if it was last season though. Not sure, but they're really rare. So yeah. Anyways, I do have, if you guys are interested in earning currency, I need currency, so I decided to do a crazy currency earning method. Um, my goal is crazy. Um, I decided I wanted a headhunter last night, and I decided after I finished this delve project, I was going to try and get enough currency to buy a headhunter in 24 hours. Um, it's late for me now, so I'm not going to be starting the challenge today. I'm going to start it tomorrow. So tomorrow is Thursday. I'll be streaming on Friday. So for my stream on Friday, I'm going to have a headhunter. I'm not going to be doing videos tomorrow. If I ignore comments, please understand that my gaming time tomorrow is going to be focused on earning currency. I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to be earning the currency today. I'm going to be a little bit selfish because I don't want a bunch of people going out and doing the exact same thing that I'm doing and dropping how profitable what I'm doing is. I'm being a little bit selfish. I'm going to be selfish for 24 hours. But after those 24 hours, once I reach my goal, I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I did it, what my starting stuff was, and I'll walk you guys through the whole method so you guys can do it too. Obviously, if a bunch of people start doing it, the prices of the stuff that I'm going for is going to go down some, but you'll still be able to make currency. It's not going to change it that much, but I want to do it as fast as possible. So I'm gonna be selfish for 24 hours. I will show you what I do have. I'm not gonna be touching the delve stuff because I have a plan for that. I'm gonna be doing crafting videos. I'm gonna take all the currency and fossils from the delve project, and I'm gonna be using them for crafting videos. But headhunter first, then fossil crafting. So you guys can look forward to that this weekend. Watch me blow the 19.27 exalted orbs I have from my delve tab. My current exalted orbs is 26, and then I've got 322 chaos orbs. I will be keeping track of everything that I spend and all the resources, and when I finish getting my headhunter, I'm going to tell you guys everything that I spent, all of my earnings, and yeah, my methods to do that. So look forward to that video. Thanks for watching. Peace.